Good afternoon, groovy citizens, and happy fantastic Friday. So before I jump into today's topic, let me just share some things with you. As you all know, or maybe you didn't know, but I was not able to do a video on Wednesday, and that is because Wednesday morning I ended up getting into a car accident. Not my fault, thank God for that, but I ended up getting into a car accident nonetheless. And my truck was totaled. Now, it's not the studio, as you can see, because I'm filming in the studio, and it's not my other trucks over here. I was actually driving my mom's truck that day. And so the truck was totaled. And when I tell you, I got home and my lip was so swollen, it just looked horrible. So there was no way in the world I could have done a video. Plus, I was just hurting so bad. It seems like every day I wake up, I hurt more than I did the day before. Actually, I wish I could really express to you how bad I hurt right now, but I can't really, put a number to it, a name to it, any of that, but I just hurt so bad. And to be quite honest with you, I don't feel like motivating a soul today. But remember, we talked about that before. It's not about me. I do what I do out of my love for each and every one of you. So I'm going to make it through this video, and I'm going to take my simple self back in the house and wash this makeup off my face and sit down somewhere. Now, not only am I hurting so bad, my sinuses are acting a plumb fool. I wasn't even sure I was going to be able to do the video because my eyes keep draining, and I had a sneezing fit just now before I hit record. Well, let me say this is my second time hitting record because I broke out into the sneezing fit. I took something for it, but as you know, most medicines nowadays, you can only take them every 8 hours. So I think I have to wait a little bit longer before I can take another one. And when I tell you I feel like crap, that's exactly what I feel like. So if I look that way as well, I do ask for your forgiveness, but it is what it is. So I've got sinus issues on top of body aches. And then to make it so bad, the place that I wanted to go to get my CT scan, because I did go and be seen, but they did not have a CT scan machine. So I have to go and get that done because I have horrible pain, like all up in here. I'm not going to press on it because it hurts across my stomach. It just hurts my left leg. My knees are killing me. And I don't know if my seat went forward or what, and I hit my knees underneath the steering wheel area. I have no idea. And I have this horrible pain right here in the back of my head. So I'm just, like I said, I'm hurting. My elbows hurt, my wrists hurt, everything just freaking hurts. And I don't know if you all have had this experience where you say, Lord, I just need you to take it away because I can't do this. This is too much. Even with my leave, I can only take one of those. So I took one. It's probably almost been 8 hours, so I can take another one. But you only take one, and you take it every 8 hours. So luckily, the doctor did prescribe a muscle relaxer for me. He said that should help me, but I need to get over there to get it. And to be honest with you, right now, I'm just not really feeling comfortable driving. So I have to get my mom, my dad to run me over because I know my sister's working late today. So I have to get one of them to run me over to go get it. But y'all, it's going to get better. I just ask for your prayers because y'all know I love you so much. And I know you all are a praying group of people. So I do solicit your prayers. And like I said, Lord, we've been going back and forth. I said, Lord, if you don't take this pain away, I don't know if I can stand it any longer. So let's jump into today's topic. And today's topic is, are you an emotional sponge? And this is exactly what I was supposed to talk about on Wednesday, but we're going to talk about it today. Again, are you an emotional sponge? So if you find that you're always taking on other people's stress and issues, here's some things that you may want to try. And excuse me again, y'all, because my sinuses. I was that person. I was that person that I took on everybody's issues. If you had an issue and you came to me and you said, Michelle, girl, I'm going through ABC, XYZ, your issue now became my issue because I'm trying to figure out how can I help you solve this problem. Now, it's not even my problem, but I'm trying to do my best to work to help you figure out how to solve your problem. And to the point where I just got so wrapped up in it that I had to just, step back and say, Michelle, wait a minute, hold up. Is this their problem or is it your problem? Because you are so vested in this issue that I'm starting to worry about you, right? This is a conversation I'm having with myself. That's just how deep that I would get into other people's issues. So number one, I have 5 points. Number one, identify the source of the stress. So ask yourself if the emotions that you are feeling are yours or someone else's. Okay? It is so important to know the difference. Now keep in mind, sometimes it may be yours and sometimes it is somebody else's. So when you start to, my nose is itching. When you start to feel the stress and the weight of the world coming down on you, and I wish I had some tissue because I feel like my eyes are starting to run. But when you start to feel the stress and the weight of the world coming down on you, you have to ask yourself, is this your stress or is it someone else's? Because if it's someone else's, then you need to leave it with that person. If it's yours, you're going to have to figure out how to deal with it. Because, and excuse me guys, because y'all know my sinuses are running. Lord, I don't have any tissue at all. Either way, you wanted to identify where the source of that stress is coming from. Okay. And then, because see, once you know where it's coming from, or who it belongs to, I should say, then you can figure out how to deal with it a little bit better. Number two, stop thinking you have to fix everything and everyone. So unless you are getting paid to be a mediator, you don't have to fix everybody's problem or problems. It's not your responsibility to fix everybody's problems. There's a song that says, take your burdens to the Lord and leave them there. Y'all, I love that song. And that is so true, because again, I was that problem. I was that person that I felt like I had to solve everybody's problem. I was like, y'all remember Mystery Incorporated, Scooby-Doo? Yeah, that I was Mystery Inc. all by myself, where I had to figure out how to solve your problem. If you said, Michelle, look, I'm having a relationship issue, I'm in the weeds, I'm trying to figure out how can I help you fix that relationship problem. If you have a financial problem, I'm trying to figure out how to help you fix that financial problem. If you're having a problem in your home or at work or in your neighborhood or with your friends or whatever, doesn't matter what the problem was, I was trying to fix it. And then I realized, like I said just a few years ago, that Michelle, you are not the fixer. You cannot run around here like a chicken with your head cut off trying to fix everybody's problems, because that is not your job. And I had to learn that when people share whatever's going on with them with me, it's not for me to fix their problem. The best thing I can do for them is to pray for them, pray with them and for them, that God will send on a solution to fix whatever's going on in their life. It's not for me to stress myself out trying to help them, especially now that I know that stress can trigger a seizure. And since I know that, I now have to make sure that I'm not taking on issues that I don't need to. You share something with me, I'm going to God with it and say, Lord, my friend or this person is having this issue, Lord. I know you already know about it, but I'm asking that you would step in right now and fix it, Jesus. Touch them and heal them. Whatever's going on, I'm going to God in prayer on your behalf. Excuse me. Because that's the best thing that I can do for you, okay? But again, you've got to stop thinking that you have to fix everything and everyone, because you don't. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people that do feel that way. Number 3, take a break. So when you feel that you're getting overwhelmed with your issues and other people's issues, you need to step away from them and get quiet. I've learned that every now and then I have to just get away. And sometimes I can just go up in my room and just kind of decompress. Sometimes I come and I sit in my safe space. Y'all, this is my safe haven. Not only is this my baby, but this is like my safe haven. I can just come here and just sit and just get quiet. Doesn't matter where you go. It can be the basement, it can be the backyard, it can be your barn. It doesn't even matter. You just get someplace where you can sit, get quiet, get away from everything, everyone, and just, if you can, burn a candle, if you can. But if not, just get quiet. And what I like to do is I like to say, okay, Lord, you know what's going on in my life. You know the things that I'm dealing with. You know the things that are coming down the road, the things that I've been through and all of that other good stuff. I need you to help me quiet my mind, Lord, so that I can hear from you. Because I'm gonna tell you what I do know. As long as you are ripping and running, going to and fro and here and there, you cannot hear from God as long as you're busy. And so you have to make yourself get quiet, where you can say, all right, Lord, I'm quiet. And just close your eyes and say, all right, Lord, you know what? I'm quiet. I am now ready to listen to you. What is it, Lord, that you would have me to know? What is it that you need from me? What is it that I need to do to fix whatever it is that's going on? But you've got to get away and just get quiet. Because if you don't, I'm going to tell you something, the stresses of this world, it's like a weight on your shoulder, and it will beat you down to your knees. And when I tell you that I know, trust me, because I've been there too many times. And I've learned that if I'm going to trust God, if I'm going to call on God, then I've got to stop trying to take everything into my own hands and fix it, and truly get quiet and let God do what only He can do, the way that He can do it. So sometimes you're going to have to just get away. That means you don't answer your phone. That means you stay off TikTok. You stay off YouTube. You stay off Instagram. You stay off Twitter. What else did I not name? Your email, whatever. Put all of that aside. Tell people in your house, look, I need 30 minutes to myself because I just need to get quiet and just really think. Or I'm going into my prayer and meditation time. Excuse me, whatever you call it. But you've got to get quiet, okay? And just take a break. And that means sometimes you got to take a break from people. So when you're getting quiet in your mind, you've got to cut some people off. You might need to say, look, you know what? For the next couple of days, I need to take a break. I just need to be by myself. And if they don't understand that, then they're not truly friends. They don't have your best interest at heart. They should truly understand when you need a break. You just need a break from everybody. And just be by yourself for a day or two, a week, or however long that you feel like you need for yourself. Because if you don't, you're just going to stress yourself out. Number 4, stop taking the blame all the time. So you are not always at fault when stress and issues come about. Yes, you should own up to the choices that you made, okay, but not the choices that other people have made. It's not your responsibility to carry other people's emotional distress. Pray for them and then let them carry their own burdens. Let them carry that burden themselves. You stop carrying that burden. Excuse me. And I was that person at one time that, honey, I just, like I said, I carried the weight of everybody's issues and problems and concerns on my shoulder until it got too heavy. And God said, okay, now are you ready to listen? Because you walked around carrying that burden long enough. Are you ready to listen? Because you're carrying around something that doesn't even belong to you. You're stressing yourself out over things that have nothing to do with you at all. But as I said, what did I say? You have to stop taking the blame all the time. It's not my fault if your relationship doesn't work out. I had nothing to do with that. And I think I was that kind of person where I made it my fault and I took the burden for it because I felt like, well, if I was a real friend, I would have seen this coming, or I should have known that this was going on, and I could have stepped in and I could have done this, I could have done that, I could have done the other. And that's just the kind of person that I am. But I've had to get to a place where I cannot take the burden for everybody's issues. I just cannot, and I will not, because it's too stressful. It is too draining. And most of you know that I'm a competitive power lifter and I'm a very strong individual. However, it gets too heavy trying to walk around carrying your burdens. I don't do that anymore, and haven't for a while now. The best thing I can do is pray for you and then say, take your burdens to the Lord, honey, and leave them there, because that's exactly what I do with me. If I have some issues, some concerns, or whatever going on, I'm not even walking around with that stuff. I take my burdens to God and I leave it with Him, because I know He can work it out far better than I can. And number 5, last but not least, always be kind to yourself. Be careful how you speak to yourself and how you treat yourself. We all make mistakes, but don't let them break you. God is still in control. Y'all, let me say this, and I have to stress this, because far too often, Life happens and you beat yourself up. Some of you all beat yourself up worse than anybody else ever could. And I'm going to tell you right now, if I ever see you do that, it's going to be on. It's going to be on between me and you. We're going to have a come to Jesus meeting in his good sandals, because I cannot stand that. Life happens. We all make mistakes. We all have done things. We all have said things that we wish we could take back, or that we had not done. We weren't thinking, and we did stuff that we shouldn't have done. It happens. And anybody that tells you they don't, they're telling you a damn lie. Forgive my French, but they are. They're telling you a lie, because we all make mistakes. All you can do is ask that person or those individuals to forgive you, ask God to forgive you, and you keep moving. Period. End of sentence. But what you're not going to do is sit there and talk down to yourself. Oh, I'm so stupid. I should have did this. I should have did. No, you're not. You did something that was stupid, but you are not stupid. And don't you ever, like I said, don't ever let me hear you say that about yourself, because I'm going to tell you something. You're going to see a whole nother side of Michelle real quick, because I cannot stand that. You are not stupid. We all make stupid decisions, choices. We say stupid things, do stupid things, but that doesn't mean that we're stupid people. You are not the thing that you have done. Always remember that. So be careful how you talk to yourself. Some of you are in the situations that you're in right now because of the way that you talk to yourself. I'm one of these people. See, I can own up to my issues and say, okay, you know what, Michelle, you were wrong. Plain and simple, you were wrong. Nothing more you can do about it other than ask that person to forgive you. Lord, please forgive me. I was wrong, but I need you to still make a way anyhow. And then I'm going to move on. I'm not going to sit and talk down to myself. For what? I'm not the thing that I've done, or the things that I've done. I'm not. I made a mistake, but I'm not a mistake. Come on, somebody. That'll preach right there. And I loved it when I ended with, don't let the mistakes that you've done break you. You know, Reverend Tanai preached on last Sunday. Lord, that y'all preached. And she talked about how life will break all of us, essentially. We are all going to be broken. And if you haven't, honey, just keep on living, because you will. And I mean, she got to preaching hard, and you know how that the preacher rears all back. And she said, you know, you may break. She said you may bend, but don't you let whatever's going on in your life break you. And that's what I want to leave you with today. You're dealing with some things. I'm dealing with some things. The world is dealing with some things, but don't you let those things break you. Don't you let them break you. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. You are stronger than whatever it is that you're dealing with. Again, trust me, because I know firsthand. I promise you that. I know firsthand. So you hang in there. When life gets heavy and you are starting to become an emotional sponge, which I suspect a lot of you are, because I don't know who needs to hear this. I want you to, number one, identify the source of that stress. Figure out if it's theirs or if it's yours. Number two, stop thinking that you have to fix everything and everybody, because you're not the fixer. Number three, take a break. Take a break from people. Take a break from your job. Take a break from whatever it is, that social media, whatever you need to do to take a break. I need you to take that break. Number four, I said stop taking the blame all the time. The blame is not yours all the time. See, sometimes, here's the other thing, is sometimes the blame is shared, okay? Sometimes the blame is all on you. Sometimes it's all on them. But sometimes it's on both of you. But you have got to stop taking the blame. Oh, my relationship didn't work. It's my fault. No, it's not. Because that other person, they played a part in that breakup too. The job didn't work out. Well, it's not just your fault. Your employer played a part in that too. Now, he or she may not want to admit that, but they did. And that's a whole nother video for a whole nother time. But everything that happens is not always solely on you. Everybody takes the blame when something doesn't go right. And then, what else? Where was I? Oh, and then number 5, I said always be kind to yourself. No matter what you're going through, don't you dare sit there and talk down to yourself, talk bad about yourself, because you are not a bad person. You made a bad choice, but you are not a bad person. I'm gonna tell you something. Life happens, honey. I'm speaking highly of myself. Some people probably look at me and go, what the what? Yeah, because I'm not gonna sit and put myself down for what? Okay, that thing didn't work out. It is what it is. I believe that things don't work out for a reason. See, because I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, when things don't work out, it's because God has something else for me. But as long as my hands are full with this thing over here, he can't give me what I really want that's over there. So I'm not stressing over that. Life goes on. God makes a way. Like I said, other than the fact that I hurt, and I forgot to tell you guys that because the airbag, and my mom's truck had airbag in the steering wheel, one along here, and I think one along here or something other, and that thing hit me in the face so hard. I think that's why the back of my head hurts, but because I wear glasses, you know, it hit me in the face, and all of this right up in here is so daggone sore, and then my sinuses are draining, so having to blow my nose is just horrible. Okay, it is absolutely horrible, but we're gonna get through this. We are going to get through this. I could sit and beat myself up because of that car accident, and I won't even lie to you. Like I told my mom, my first thought was, Lord, I got to call my mom and tell her that I've had an accident and totaled her vehicle. And I was so worried about what she was going to think of me or how she was going to feel that I didn't even think of my own well-being in that moment. And my mom said, don't you dare. She said, it's going to be all right. The adjuster called her a little while ago and said they gave her the appraisal for her truck, and you know, they're going to contact the finance company. They're going to pay it off, and the difference is going to come to her to go get another vehicle. So everything is going to work out. The thing is that we have got to, what did I say? Stop becoming an emotional sponge. Because here's the thing. You ever see a sponge, when it gets full of water, it starts to expand? And so eventually you've got to wring that water out to get the sponge back down to the normal size. Because if not, it's not going to fit in your little sponge holder. I don't know if you all have one, I do. But a little sponge holder, it's not going to fit in there until you wring all of that excess water out. Well, that's what happens to us. When we become an emotional sponge, we just take on so much that eventually we are going to mentally explode. Now, I'm not talking about your head popping open, but mentally you are going to explode because you're just taking on too much. So I want you to learn how to love people, but take their burdens to God and leave them there. Stop trying to make them your own. Stop trying to fix everything and everybody. Because I want people to be happy, and that's why I've always wanted to just fix people. I need you to just make sure you allow God to do his work. See, we get in trouble. We get in trouble when we try to take on God's work and make it our own. I've learned that I've got to let God be God fully. Let him do what only he can do. And let me do my part, which is to pray for you. Because I'm a praying sister. Let me just say that. I am a praying sister. You hear me? So I'm going to keep praying. And God's going to keep doing what he does. And I'm going to keep encouraging you all to stop taking on all that emotional baggage and stress and what have you. Take your burdens to the Lord and leave them there. Listen, you guys, that's my time. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. If this is not your first rodeo, I want to say welcome back. You know, you guys know that I miss you when I don't get a chance to see you. And we are going to... I will be doing a video tomorrow. Unfortunately, I don't have anything scripted, so I'm just going to be talking from the heart tomorrow because I just don't have anything scripted, and I don't feel like writing up anything because my hands, I told y'all my wrists hurt so bad, so trying to write is very uncomfortable. But we're still going to do a motivational video tomorrow because even though I don't feel good, I want to leave you all feeling much better after you watch one of my videos than when you first started. Because that is my goal. So you all know the drill, you know the spiel. I love you all to the moon and back, and there is nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing that you can ever do about it to change it, because I will always love you all. I will always be here to encourage you and just, you know, encourage you to just become a better person. Encourage you to step out on faith. Encourage you to be the person that God has called you to be. Encourage you to live your best life possible. Because I know it's in you. And y'all, I'm going to leave you all with this other little secret that I'm going to go about my business. I was only going to put on some lip gloss, but I decided to put on some lip color because I told you yesterday, last 2 days, my lip was swollen really bad. And so it's like a little bruising right up in here. So I said, no, I got to put on some lip color because I don't want anybody to see that, because I was on a our women's Bible study Zoom call yesterday, and I did keep my camera on. I felt so uncomfortable the whole time, but I have to just, get my mindset out of there, because what did I talk about? We're not going to talk down to ourselves. We're going to be kind to ourselves. So I said, well, the swelling has gone down. I put on some lipstick. Nobody will know the difference. But you guys continue to pray for me. Keep me in your prayers as I keep you in mine. And we will talk again on tomorrow. Until then, take care.